You can plan every dinner, every shore excursion, and every suitcase perfectly and still ruin your entire cruise with one medication mistake. In 2026, cruise lines are taking CBD, controlled prescriptions, medical marijuana, and medication storage more seriously than many travelers expect. But the rule that catches people off guard most often does not start on the ship. It starts before boarding, and by the time you learn it, the ship may already be gone. So, let's go through the medication rules that actually matter before your next cruise, step by step. These are the rules that can save you from delays, arguments at security, ruined medication, or a very expensive problem in a foreign port. Number 1. Your carry-on bag is not optional. This is the first rule, and it is also one of the easiest to get wrong. Every medication you truly need should travel in the bag that stays with you, not in your checked suitcase, not in the large bag you hand to the porter at the curb, not in the suitcase you hope will arrive outside your cabin later that afternoon. Checked luggage can be delayed. Sometimes it arrives hours after you board. Sometimes it does not show up until much later than expected. And on embarkation day, your cabin may not be ready right away. That may not matter if the only thing inside is a swimsuit or a pair of shoes, but it matters a lot if your blood pressure pills, insulin, inhaler, seizure medication, heart medication, or anxiety medication are inside that bag. The ship's medical center may be able to help with certain problems, but you should never assume it will have the exact medication you take in the exact dose you need. So the rule is simple. If missing that medication would worry you, it belongs in your carry-on. You can still pack a backup supply in your suitcase if you want. Many experienced cruisers do that. But the only supply should never go into checked luggage. Your suitcase is for clothes. Your carry-on is for anything your body cannot safely go without. Before the next rule, subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want cruise tips that help you avoid problems before they happen. Some cruise mistakes are small. Medication mistakes are not. Number 2. Original prescription packaging matters more than people think. A pill organizer is convenient at home. You fill it once, close the little plastic lids, and you know exactly what to take each morning. But during cruise travel, that same organizer can create questions you do not want at security, customs, or a port inspection. The safest choice is to bring medication in the original labeled container from the pharmacy. That label does a lot of work for you. It shows your name, the medication name, the dosage, and that the medicine was issued properly. A small box full of loose tablets does not explain anything. To a security officer, unknown pills in an unlabeled case can look suspicious, even when every single one is completely legal. You can still use a pill organizer on the ship. Many cruisers bring the original bottles, board with everything properly labeled, and then fill the organizer inside the cabin. During embarkation, customs checks, or port inspections, the original bottle is your easiest proof. If the medication is labeled, the conversation usually stays simple. If it is not labeled, the conversation can quickly become about what you are carrying and why you cannot prove it. Number 3. Bring prescription proof and a doctor's letter. This is where cruise medication planning becomes more serious, but one simple document can prevent a lot of stress. For most travelers, a copy of the prescription is smart to carry. It does not take up space, and it gives you something clear to show if anyone asks why you have that medication. But for certain medications, a prescription copy may not be enough. If you are traveling with narcotic pain medication, injectable medication, refrigerated medication, or anything that could raise questions at a border, a doctor's letter is much stronger. That letter should include your name, the medication name, the dosage, the medical reason you need it, and the doctor's contact information. The point is not to share your private medical story with everyone who asks. The point is to show that the medication has a legitimate medical purpose and a licensed prescriber behind it. Keep that letter with the medication itself, not buried in a folder in your suitcase. Not locked, away in your cabin safe. If the medication is being inspected, the paperwork should be right there with it. That is what turns a long, uncomfortable conversation into a quick check and a simple answer. Number 4. Pack extra medication for delays. One of the easiest cruise mistakes to make is packing exactly enough medication for the number of nights on the ship. That sounds logical, but cruising does not always follow the plan. Flights get canceled. Bad weather can delay a return. A medical stop can change the schedule. A mechanical issue can keep a ship at sea longer than expected. Even a stomach bug can leave you stuck in the cabin. That is why experienced cruisers do not pack just enough. They pack a cushion. For essential medication, bring more than the trip requires. Many cruisers feel more comfortable with about 10 extra days if their doctor and pharmacy allow it. That may sound like too much, until something goes wrong. Then those extra pills stop feeling excessive and start feeling like the smartest thing you packed. If nothing happens, you simply bring the extra supply home. But if your travel plans change, you are not depending on a ship pharmacy, a foreign port, or a last-minute refill. Number 5. CBD, THC, and medical marijuana can get you in serious trouble. This is the rule that surprises a lot of cruisers, because the mistake feels reasonable. Someone buys a legal CBD gummy at home, puts it in a toiletry bag, and assumes that legal at home means allowed on the ship. It does not. Cruise lines have their own prohibited items policies, and many of them clearly ban marijuana-related products. That can include medical marijuana, even when you have a valid card. It can also include CBD products, THC products, oils, gummies, creams, vape cartridges, and anything else connected to cannabis. The problem is not just the cruise line. A cruise touches several legal systems at once. There is the law where you boarded, the law of the country where the ship is registered, and the laws of every port on your itinerary. Some countries treat cannabis products very seriously, even when the amount is small. That is where people get blindsided. They are not trying to smuggle anything. They are not trying to break a law. They simply packed something that felt normal at home. But normal at home is not the standard at sea. Before you bring any CBD, THC, or medical marijuana product on a cruise, check the current prohibited items list for your cruise line and check the rules for every country you will visit. If there is any doubt, leave it at home. Missing a gummy is inconvenient. Being denied boarding, removed from the ship, or questioned in a foreign port is much worse. Number 6. Controlled prescription medication is different from banned medication. This distinction matters because after hearing the CBD and marijuana rule, some cruisers start to panic about their normal prescriptions. A controlled prescription is not automatically the same thing as a banned item. Many travelers legally cruise with anxiety medication, sleep medication, prescription stimulants, pain medication, or other controlled drugs, as long as the medication is legitimate and properly documented. The real issue is everything around the cruise. Your medication may have to pass through airport security, cruise terminal screening, customs officers, and the laws of every country on the itinerary. A prescription that is perfectly normal in one country may be restricted, require special approval, or even be illegal in another. That is why the paperwork matters so much. For controlled medication, travel with the original labeled bottle, a current prescription copy, and a doctor's letter explaining what the medication is and why you need it. The letter does not have to be dramatic. It just needs to be clear and official. The key point is this. Prescribed does not automatically mean permitted everywhere. If your cruise visits several countries, check those countries before you sail. The earlier you check, the less likely you are to face a surprise at the airport, the terminal, or the gangway. And stay with me, because the final rule in this video is the one that can override everything, even if your doctor, your pharmacy, and the cruise line all say your medication looks fine. Also, if this video is helping you prepare for your next cruise, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel, and it is always appreciated. Number 7. Methadone requires special planning. Methadone is one of those topics that has to be handled clearly and without judgment, because the mistake here can affect someone's health very quickly. Some cruise lines make it clear that their ships do not stock methadone, and that the onboard medical team cannot step in for routine methadone treatment. Do not assume the ship can store it, monitor doses, provide replacement medication, or manage a treatment plan created on land. This is not about stigma. It is about what a ship medical center can realistically do at sea. A cruise ship is not a licensed treatment clinic, and the doctor on board may not be able to take over care that normally requires a structured program. So if methadone is part of your treatment, The planning should happen before you book, not a few days before sailing. Talk directly with your treating clinic or provider. Ask what documentation you need, how your doses should be handled during travel, and whether the full itinerary creates any legal or medical issues. The message is not that you cannot cruise. The message is that you should never assume the ship can solve a gap in care that it has already said it cannot provide. Number 8. A cabin fridge is not a medical refrigerator. This mistake happens because the little cooler in the cabin looks like a refrigerator. It may keep a soda cool, it may make bottled water feel refreshing, but that does not mean it can safely protect temperature-sensitive medication. Many cabin fridges are actually mini coolers, and they may not hold the stable temperature that insulin or certain injectable drugs require. Temperature damage is not always obvious. A medication can look normal and still no longer work the way it should. So do not guess. Do not put insulin, biologics, or other temperature-sensitive prescriptions in the cabin cooler and hope for the best. The right move is to contact the cruise line before sailing and request a proper medical refrigerator through their special needs process. Do this early, not at the terminal, because the ship needs time to prepare the right equipment. Also check the storage instructions for your specific medication before you travel. Some medicines can tolerate limited time at room temperature, while others need tighter control. The main rule is simple. If your medication depends on temperature, treat storage as part of the prescription. A cabin cooler is for drinks. A medical refrigerator is for medicine. Number 9. Plan ahead for needles, syringes, lancets, and sharps. If your medication involves an injection, the medication itself is only one part of the plan. You also need to think about what happens after you use the needle. Used needles, syringes, lancets, and injection pens should never go into a cabin trash can. They should not be left on a bathroom counter, wrapped in tissue, or dropped into a public bin near the pool deck. That creates a real safety risk for crew, housekeeping, and other guests. A cabin steward who gets stuck by a loose needle is not dealing with a small inconvenience. That becomes a serious incident. The solution is simple. Request a proper sharps container before the cruise, usually through the cruise line's special needs department. Then, pack your injectable medication as a complete system. Bring the medication, needles, alcohol wipes, prescription paperwork, and a safe disposal plan. Once you are on board, keep the sharps container in one clear place and use it every time. Injectable medication can be easy on a cruise, but only if you plan for the disposal, not just the dose. Number 10. Arrange medical needs before the cruise, not at the terminal. This is where early planning can make the difference between a smooth boarding day and a problem that is almost impossible to fix. Many cruise lines ask guests to submit medical and accessibility requests well before sailing, often around 30 days in advance. That timeline is not random. The ship may need time to arrange equipment, storage, supplies, and staff. This matters for more than complicated medical situations. You may need advance help for a medical refrigerator, oxygen, distilled water for a CPAP machine, a sharps container, dialysis coordination, mobility equipment, dietary medical needs, or accessibility support. The terminal is not the place to solve these things. Boarding day is busy, supplies are limited, and the crew may not be able to create a solution on the spot. If you wait until you are standing at check-in, the answer may simply be no, or it may be too late to arrange the right support before the ship leaves. So here is the rule. If your cruise involves any medical need beyond taking a simple daily tablet, contact the cruise line early and use their special needs process. A request made a month before sailing gives the ship a chance to help. A request made at the terminal may only confirm that you waited too long. Number 11. Do not rely on the ship pharmacy. A lot of first-time cruisers imagine the medical center as a small, floating pharmacy. If they forget something, they assume they can walk in, show a prescription, and get a refill. That is a dangerous assumption. Cruise ship medical centers are important, but they are not designed to replace your pharmacy at home. They are there for emergencies, injuries, sudden illness, and short-term medical problems. They may carry common medications, but they may not carry your exact prescription, your exact dose, or the brand your body is used to. And if the ship does not have it, getting it may not be simple. The next port may not have the right medication either. A foreign pharmacy may require a local doctor. Your prescription from home may not be accepted. That is why your packing plan matters so much. Bring your full supply. Bring extra. Keep it labeled. Keep the paperwork with it. And treat the ship medical center as a backup for unexpected problems, not as the plan for medication you already know you need. Number 12. Port country law can override everything. This is the rule that many cruisers forget, and it may be the most important one in the entire list. A cruise line can allow your medication. Your doctor can prescribe it legally. Your pharmacy can label it correctly. Airport security can let you through. And a country on your itinerary can still have its own rule that changes everything. That is why you cannot only check the cruise line policy, you also need to check the medication rules for the countries where the ship will stop. Some countries require advance approval for certain controlled medications. Some require travelers to declare medication on arrival. Some limit the amount you can bring. Some do not allow certain medicines at all, even when they are prescribed at home. This is especially important on cruises that visit places with strict drug import laws, including parts of Asia and the Gulf region. A medication that feels completely normal in your home country may create serious questions somewhere else. The risky part is that you may not find out until the worst possible moment. Not while you are packing, not while you are still able to call your doctor, but at an airport, a customs desk, or a port inspection. So before you sail, review every country on the itinerary. Look for official government guidance, not travel forum guesses. If approval is required, start early, because some applications need time. The safest rule is to assume the strictest country on your route is the rule that matters. A cruise is international travel, and your medication has to be legal everywhere it goes. So here is the simple way to think about cruise medication in 2026. Pack early. Keep essential medicine with you. Leave anything prohibited at home. Use original bottles. Bring proof. Request medical equipment before the cruise, not during boarding day. And check the countries on your itinerary before you assume your prescription is allowed. Most of these rules are not difficult, but they are easy to ignore until something goes wrong. A little preparation can protect your health, your vacation, and your wallet. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more practical cruise tips before your next sailing. And make sure you watch the next video on the screen before you book your next cruise, because it covers the expensive cruise mistakes travelers usually discover only after they have already paid for them.